discuss the 18 steps that most businesses are getting wrong and leaving huge amount of money on the table. And this is by far the most important step, and it is actually the worst mistake they can ever make because they are not tracking the data. Most marketers just select the sales objective, but if you are a B2B marketing agency, then you have to select any other objectives. And Facebook's algorithm is already so sophisticated enough to find your ideal prospects, but you need to give it a seed. You will be writing get qualified leads within 90 days. Your meta ads will go into a learning phase which is about 7 days long, or 50 conversions, whichever gets first. Assalamualaikum viewers, welcome back from the video. Today we are going to discuss the 18 steps that most businesses are getting wrong and leaving huge amount of money on the table. And most businesses are getting these 5 steps completely wrong, which means they are leaving huge amount of money and losing a lot of business to their competitors. And by the end of this video, you will have a complete blueprint on how to run advanced Facebook campaigns that easily gets you qualified B2B or B2C leads. So let's get right into it. The first step in this blueprint is for you to have Meta Business Manager, and it's basically just like a tree which holds your ads account, your Facebook pages, your Instagram accounts, and if you are an agency, it will hold your clients' ads account, their Instagram, their Facebook pages, and everything else. So it is just like an umbrella or a tree that has multiple branches further divided into it. So you can easily create it by going to business.facebook.com, and it literally takes like 2 to 3 minutes. And you will just provide them with your business name, your business email or your personal email, and some other basic info like your phone number, your personal email, and things like that. Then after you have created your Meta Business Manager, make sure to create your ad account and also create your Facebook page and Instagram. And if you have already created those, then make sure to connect them to this business manager under the business portfolio. Now the steps for adding your Facebook page to your Meta Business Manager is for you to go to Meta Business Suite, go to settings, then pages, then add. There you will see 2 options for to create a new page or to add your existing page. If you already have an existing page, there you will have an option to request access for it, and you will enter your email, then you will get some codes, and then after you have entered those codes, then your page is connected to your Meta Business Suite. And all of this you have to make it under one business portfolio, because you might have some clients that you will be managing their ad accounts, and then you can create different business portfolio for your each client. Now the main reason for connecting your Facebook page to your Meta Business Suite or your Meta Business Manager, these both are the same things, is because whenever you will be running your ad campaigns, is that your ads will be running through these Facebook pages, and these Facebook pages will obviously have your company info, your reviews, your previous posts, reels, Instagram posts, Facebook posts, whatever. And basically this is what your prospects will be seeing after they click on your ad. They will go through your page, Facebook page, and then they will maybe message you or fill out the forms, whatever you have set up as CTA. Plus, if something goes wrong with your ad account or your Meta Business Manager, having a page connected to it makes the troubleshooting way more easier. Now after you have connected your Facebook page with your Meta Business Suite, the next step is to create a ads account and connect your pixel to your website. And what ad account is, it is basically just account from where you will be running your campaigns for your Facebook page or your Facebook account. And what pixel is, it is basically just a piece of code that you will attach or embed in your website's backend, and it will send you the data on how the visitors used your website, where did they go, how much long did they stay on each page, what buttons did they click, and the pixel will send all the data back to Facebook Meta for its algorithm to analyze on how the users perform, which type of users are actually interested in your services, and basically just categorize your audience for further campaigns that you will run in the future. And in long run, this will help your campaigns much better on who is interested in your services, who is not interested, and basically it just provides way better detailed targeting if you use the Meta Pixel. And here's how you can set up a pixel for your website. First you will need to go to your event manager, then create data sources, then select web, enter your website's URL, and then install the web code. From there, either you can copy the code and paste it in your website, either you can send it to your developer if he made the website, or you can easily install it if you are running a Shopify store. And this is by far the most important step if you want to scale your ad campaign, and it is actually the worst mistake they can ever make, because they are not tracking the data of their targeted audience on what they are doing on their website. Because if you want to actually improve your targeted audience into a much better audience, then you need this backend data on how the targeted audience you targeted on the campaign is performing on your website. Now after you have made your ad account, connected your Facebook account and your Instagram account, and also set up your pixel code in your website, now the next step is to run your campaign. And the first thing that I have to tell you all that most B2B marketers, whenever they run ads, they just select the sales marketing objective. I will explain some other objectives that are in the campaign section, but most marketers just select the sales objective because what they think is that their option is to sell their services or sell their product to some other client. But the sales option is only for those marketers who have their own Shopify stores and they're selling their products. For example, if I am running a e-commerce store and I want to sell a water bottle, then I will have to go with this sales objective. But if you are a B2B marketing agency or any other agency, then you have to select any other objectives like leads, because then you are capturing the information of the other person, contacting them, going back and forth with them, and then eventually closing them. Now whenever you will be running your campaigns, you will mostly be using these three types of objectives. The first one is leads, which is basically just used for B2B consumers. If you are an agency who wants to sell something to another agency, then you will be most likely using this campaign objective. The second one is traffic. If you are a blog website writer or something like that where you want traffic to come to your website, then you will be using this traffic objective. The third one is engagement, and this is mainly for those e-commerce stores who want to run ads on Facebook and Instagram, but they need some social proof, some reviews, some likes and shares. So this engagement objective is mainly for them. But since most of you are here from B2B space, the only lead objective that you will be using is leads, because you will only be capturing these forms, these events or something like that, where you will eventually contact these targeted leads, and then either you can capture these on forms submitted or your website submission forms, or just tell them to message you on Messenger or your WhatsApp through the CTA button that is below your ad. Now after you have selected your campaign objective, the next step is to choose your targeted audience, and this is by far the most important step after pixel setup to know what type of audience you want to target for your business. Now this can be done by two steps. Either you go with Facebook's Advantage Plus option or go with menu setup. Now if you're from B2B space, then I recommend you to start from Advantage Plus audience targeting, because then you're giving an option to Facebook to play around with your audience as well. And Facebook's algorithm is already so sophisticated enough to find your ideal prospects, but you need to give it a seed or something like a hint of what your client should look like. For example, if you want to target HR managers, then you will fill out the audience section with something like HR managers, people who have interest in HR pages, HR teams, or something like this that includes the HR keyword like HR software, HR directors, people who have shown interest in HR related tools. So some keywords like this that you can use either ChatGPT for Perplexity is very great for research purposes. But if you have budget for getting data like this from people who have already run these campaigns in the past, then you can go to websites like metadata.io, but then you can give the Facebook's algorithm some basic knowledge on how your targeted audience looks like. Now after setting up your targeted audience, the next step is to set up your budget. There are two types of budget options that you can choose. The first one is the daily budget system, and the second one is lifetime budget system. And basically for those in e-commerce space, you will choose a lifetime budget because you don't require a lot of data for algorithm to reach your target audience. But for those in B2B space, you need some data from pixel that will be given to this Facebook algorithm in meta ads. So you will have to go with daily budget, and you will have to spend some huge amount in your Facebook ads learning phase for it to eventually lower down the cost per click, the cost per lead, the cost per result, depending on what objective you want to reach. It will lower that cost eventually down after it has crossed the learning phase. And the formula that you will be following for on setting on how much you will need to spend on the ad, and for minimum you will be spending 1x of your average lead value per day, and the recommended budget is to spend 2 to 3 times of what your average lead value per day is. For example, if you have a client who spends like say $1,000 in your agency, The minimum value that you will be spending per day is 1000. That's just the minimum space that you will be spending, and please keep in mind that this value will eventually lower down as your ad exit the learning phase. But the recommended is to spend 2 to 3000 in your landing page, because when you give a lot of data to your Facebook algorithm by the pixel that you are embedded in your website, then you give enough data to Facebook algorithm to optimize it fully for your business. Now I will tell you how you will write your ad copy for B2B and for B2C clients, because these both are different spaces and you will be targeting different targeted audience, so it's a bit different for each of these. For B2C, you will be selling some products to your clients, some services, and for just B2C, you will be writing some headlines like get 50% discount at this deal, something like this. But for B2B, it's completely different. And what you will be writing is something like cut your sales cycle in half. Or if you are a lead generation agency, you will be writing get qualified leads within 90 days. Because B2B prospects mainly care about how much time you save them, how much ROI you generate for them, how much specific use cases you have for them, and how much of a risk for them you reduced it. Now how you will be writing your ad copy is basically very simple, and I recommend you going with a video ad copy because it impacts your target audience very much, rather going with image carousel. Alright, so here's how your ad copy should be structured. And for ad copy, I recommend going with video ad copies because it impacts your target audience much more than going with either ad images or carousel. And in your video ad, it should be in this simple script. The first thing that you will be mentioning is your hook, the second is your problem, the third is your solution, and the fourth is your clear call to action. In your hook part, you will be telling them just generally on how different agencies are facing their specific pain point, and then later in the problem you will be direct that pain point towards their targeted audience. And in the third step is where you will be showing your solution and what your services and how your services will be solving their pain point in a much faster way. And then in the fourth step, you will give them a clear call to action where you will tell if you want a free audit or a free consultation, whatever offer you have, you will tell them to message you or to contact you or to fill out the which is mentioned right below this. Alright, so now that you know how you will be making your ad copy, now's the time for making more variations, because each person in your target is triggered by different pain points. For example, one will be triggered by another pain point, the second will be triggered by another pain point, so your target audience will be triggered by different pain points. And to capture each one of them, you will have to make different types of variations in your ad copies. And the best part of making different ad copies, if you were already uploading content to your Facebook page, Instagram account, or even on YouTube, the best part about it is that you can go to the popular section or the popular video and check out the script, check out the topic that you made the video on, and then you can replicate it by the 4 steps that I mentioned. So by making 3 to 4 variations by this clear script format, you will be capturing each one of those leads that your competitors even. The next part is to choose your bidding strategy. For B2B, I recommend going with goal-based bidding system, but there are other options that you can also use. The first one is spend-based bidding system, where Meta will use the entire budget for one lead and will test you, get you best result. This is not ideal for lead generation campaign if you are running lead generation campaign first time for in your ad account. The second one is manual bidding, where you will be selecting the manual bids on how much you want to spend per lead. And this is only for experts, because then you will be using other tools like SEMrush, Ahrefs, where you will know how much per lead, how much per type of target audience leads actually cost. And this is for experts only if you have some past experience related this some marketing on how much per lead you will actually want to spend, including taxes and few other things. But for goal based bidding systems, you will give the maximum budget to like if I want 100 leads for my $100 budget, I will be giving per lead budget of $1. and Meta will try to get each lead under $1 or like maximum $1. So for goal based with bidding system, the main formula that you will be using is the monthly budget that you have for the total leads and the total amount of leads you need. For example, you have total budget of $500 and you need 5 leads, then the cost per lead will be $100. Now this was also in the setting up part of your campaign. Now you will publish the campaign and how it performs in its learning phase, and after that you will make some changes in it because Meta's algorithm is already pretty strong, but then, obviously you have to make some changes, some minor tweaks in your campaign, and after that you will be optimizing your campaign. Now after you have launched your first campaign, your Meta ads will go into a learning phase which is about 7 days long or 50 conversion, whichever gets first. And during this time, Meta is basically connecting all the data about your targeted audience and how they're spending their time on your website, and that pixel is sending the data back to the your Facebook algorithm. And during this period, Meta's algorithm is learning about your targeted audience on, for example, what time your targeted audience is most active, on what interest your targeted audience is most on, because in future it will generate lookalike audience for your target audience that you chose in this in your first campaign. And if you make any changes in this learning phase, you are essentially telling the Meta's algorithm to forget what it has just learned and to start the clock again from the 7 days or 50 conversions, whichever it reaches first. Now after your ad has exited the learning phase and the Meta's algorithm has actually collected some important information, some important fundamentals about your targeted audience, then you will retarget that audience by making a lookalike audience or a custom audience. And what this actually does is that those people, those highly interested people or those highly qualified people who actually didn't convert during the first phase of your campaign, they will actually see your ad and Meta will continuously target them until they convert. And you can set the retargeting frequency, which basically means how much times will they see your ads per week, and the recommended for them to see your ads is 2 to 4 times per week. Because if they're seeing your ads multiple times per day, per week, like for example 6 times per week, 7 times per week, or even 10 times, then it makes the ad annoying for them, and then at the end they will click on the non-interested feature in the ad that Meta provides your target audience, and then eventually you will lose that targeted audience. So this was all in this video. Make sure to subscribe the channel for future marketing tips and tricks and guides. Till then, goodbye.